peace. I'm meditating. Calm abiding. What does it mean? If you have an answer, put it down there. Shamatha, Shine. Those are the Sanskrit and Tibetan terms, respectively. So calm abiding means to settle the mind clearly on an object without it being pulled away by thoughts and mental chatter or events that occur in the mind. Shamatha is the Sanskrit term for calm abiding. That's what it means. It's a literal translation. Tibetan Shine, which means dwelling in peace. Very similar, but not exactly the same. Now, there's another Tibetan term called Gam for meditation. Gam means to become accustomed to. So when we look at Shamatha and Shine, we're talking about results of meditation. When we look at Gam, we're talking about the process of meditation. That's what meditation is. It is Gam. It is becoming accustomed to, becoming familiar with both the process of sustaining focus and the object that the focus is applied on. Once you develop the ability to sustain focus, if you change objects, it makes it a little unstable and you have to relearn this new object. So in order to do that, in order to become familiar, it is critical to let the mind settle, to abide calmly. The two work back and forth. As the focus becomes stronger, then there are fewer thoughts because the mind is not using that capacity, the capacity it's using to focus. It's not using that capacity to create the endless stream of thoughts that we're so used to. By those being not present in the mind, it allows the mind to increase its ability to focus and to deepen it. So there's a virtuous circle, a positive feedback loop that increases the power of meditation. It increases both the dwelling in peace part and the sustained focus part. So that process happens as the 9 stages, each one a deepening from the previous state. It's not easy, but once you understand the process, I promise you, your meditation will very rapidly progress if you understand this and you apply it with some integrity, with some effort, some exertion, and so forth. So first off, it's good to know the 5 sequential obstacles. These are at different stages of the path they'll be encountered. And they're universal to everybody as they're learning how to deepen meditation. So the first obstacle is called laziness. I'm going to go into all these, so I'm just going to kind of read the list out. This occurs in the first to 4th stages. After that, you move past it and you move to forgetting the instructions. The third obstacle is called excitement and torpor, or elation and depression. This is when you're really meditating, and these are states that can be confused for meditation. They tend to destabilize and degrade the meditations that have to be dealt with. The 4th obstacle is not applying the antidotes. So we have these subtle forms, especially of excitement and torpor in their most subtle forms. And our meditation is going really well. If we're not applying the antidotes, we're at that level, then we're probably meditating really well, and we just can't be bothered to increase our skill in meditation. We can't be bothered to deepen focus because it's already pretty darn good. But we realize, this isn't perfected yet. I'm not at equanimity. I'm still on only the 7th or 8th stages. So we still need to apply the antidotes to excitement and torpor, or elation and depression. So the last one is over applying the antidotes. This is when we're pretty close to equanimity. Basically, we've got equanimity, but we keep having this habit of subtly looking for things, trying to further perfect it. So that little activity of mind it creates a disfocus in the mind. It makes us move away from what's going on a little bit. So here's the 8 antidotes. The first 4 apply just to laziness. Once you overcome laziness, it becomes much easier to make progress. Laziness is just not getting to the cushion, basically. Letting yourself be distracted by work, not creating a clear time to meditate, not feeling motivated. So faith, aspiration, exertion, and shinjong are those 4. Faith is believing that this can do something for you. Aspiration is saying, I want to reach the 9th stage of meditation and I want to do something with my meditation that's useful. Exertion is saying, I am going to do it. It's making commitment. It's showing up every day. Shinjong means thoroughly process, and it's getting your mind so that it isn't so easily distracted by those other things. Beyond that, the antidote to forgetting the instructions is remembering the instructions. Hey, that was pretty straightforward. We got a gimme on that one. For excitement and torpor, which are subtle misalignments in the meditative state, the antidote is introspection or awareness. So we see these things happening. We know whether the mind is becoming too excited, too elated within meditation. It gets excited about meditation. It's a cool experience, by the way. So if you haven't had that, then really do that and learn to work with it. So we just watch those problems, elation and depression, once meditation is really going, and we learn how to subtly work with those things just by looking at them. The mind makes its own skills to deal with that. Not applying the antidotes. The antidote obviously is to apply the antidotes, right? There are some more specific antidotes to exertion, to elation and depression, and we'll get into those. So the 9th one is equanimity. That's the counter to applying the antidotes or over applying the antidotes. In other words, you don't need to do it anymore. You've got equanimity. It's all there, and you're deliberately making the mind move needlessly. So you just enter equanimity and you stop the activities of the mind altogether. So the 9 stages are generally divided into these 3 areas. Preparation is the first 3 stages, stages 1 through 3, the first 3 placements. So actual meditation and increasing meditation proper is stages 4 to 7. This is how to meditate properly. This is definitive meditation. And then deepening meditation is stages 7 and 9, and that'll generally happen in retreat or in some more intensive situation. But you can, in a home practice, definitely get to this 4th, 5th, and even 6th stages of daily practice. And those, you will understand so much more about meditation if that happens. Maybe you're already there. I'm not saying you aren't, but that will be very once you do, if you haven't done that, you'll understand what you've been missing and why you want to meditate. So I hope you enjoyed this. As usual, subscribe, like, all that stuff. And the next video is going to be called Preparing to Meditate. It should be on one side or the other. I never know which one.